Hi there guys, today we're going to look at constructions, and this video is a follow-on onto my basic constructions video number 1. This is obviously number 2. But the question over here, the instruction is saying, using suitable construction methods, complete the following. Divide the line into 8 equal parts. Right, so we have a line over here. This line could be any length, doesn't really matter. And we are going to definitely be using a construction line because this is the section called constructions. I'm going to select my line tool in SolidWorks, and I'm going to simply construct a line at any angle. Please take note, I said any angle. Alright, so I'm going to go to my arc tool. In your case it'll be the compass. You're going to put your compass point on this here, and you're simply going to be scribing arcs from each one of these points. Your compass will need to be kept at the same size, so please do not change the size on your compass once you've started. In my case on the computer, I will have to go ahead and change or set the actual sizes of the arc distances. Right, they say 8 equal distances, so 8 equal parts that this line will have to be divided by. So I'm simply going to go and count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arcs. I need to have 2 more arcs. Pleasures of having a computer. You can simply zoom in on the point and make sure that you are accurate. Right there, my 2 extra points. Now that I have those 8 separate points on my constructed line, I'm just going to make sure that these points are in fact at a specific distance from each other. Or let's use the end of my arcs for now. There they are there, and I'm going to make them 10 each. From this arc to that arc, I'll also make that 10. Really what you want is you want to have the separate intervals on the actual line. So remember, you will not change your compass length whatsoever. Right. So what I ideally would like to do is go and label each one of these. Right, now that I've labeled them, I can work without second guessing. Right, so I'm going to go back to my line tool and I'm going to draw a line from point 8 all the way to the end of my line. Now I describe this line as the most important line that you can draw, because if you use the sliding set square technique, you will be lining up your set square with this last line that joins from number 8 all the way to the end of the line. Please note that I'm using the entire line. From the beginning of my line, or the start point, I've constructed a line going right down at any angle, and I've constructed equal intervals on this line over here. And I also then go from the very last point, because they're asking me to divide this line into 8 equal parts, I'm going to go from number 8 or point 8 on this line and join it to the end of my line. Line this line up with one of your set squares and use the sliding set square technique to then find each and every one of these points constructed straight up to this existing line they gave us. Right, so I'm simply going to be using an offset tool. I'm going to select my line. And in fact, I can actually take this line and copy it rather than using the offset. There we go. And I'm going to keep copying it. And you'll note that each one of these lines are parallel to one another. Right, so this will be my final product. I could just go and simply trim all these little lines so that we have something a little bit more neater. Right, so you can see that every one of these lines are parallel to the most important line I could draw, which is this one from 8 to the end of the line. Using the sliding set square technique, I've then found these parallel lines. Okay, once I've actually constructed each one of these lines, you'll note that where they meet the final line or the existing line, you could denote that you've actually divided that line at that point. And by doing this, you are showing that you are dividing your line into 8 equal parts. Right, so let's count those 8 equal parts. From this point to this point over here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Right, our goal is achieved. Let's move on to the next question. The next question asks us to find the center of the circle. Right, we're going to do that with our line tool again. You're going to obviously use your construction line, and you're going to simply draw two lines which are called chords. Note that I can draw them at any angle as long as I have at least 2 of them. And I'm going to bisect each one of them. You open up your compass from the one side of the line, open it up over halfway of that line, and simply scribe an arc. And you're going to do the same with the other line. Scribe an arc. And scribe yet another arc. Great. I've got to make sure that these arc distances are in fact the same, because remember, you're not going to change the distance of your compass. You're going to keep it the same. As long as it goes over halfway, you'll be fine. I'm going to make that 30, and I'm going to make the distance for this one 30 as well, so they are the same. Make that one 25. This one over here 25. Great. And we know when we bisect lines, we need to find these intersecting points. Over here, I don't have an intersecting point. I'm simply going to extend this line so I do eventually find an intersecting point. There it is there. Great. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be drawing this construction in a different color. Right. I'm going to go ahead and put a line from this intersecting point through to this intersecting point. There we go. And I'd like to extend this line. And I'm going to draw a line from this intersecting point through to this intersecting point. Right, you'll notice where the green line, or my bisector, is meeting with the red line, will give me the center of my circle. At this point here, I'd like for you to actually go ahead and indicate that that point is actually labeled differently. I'm going to label it O, capital O. There it is there. You might notice something. If I go back to my sketch and my line tool, and I use a construction line, if I join this point over here to that point over there, I'll end up with a triangle, which would then make this circle a circumscribed circle. So there we go. Let me show you that point from there to there. If I had to do that, there's my triangle, and I'd need to find the center of the circle, which means I would obviously bisect that line, bisect this line, and invariably bisect the third one for accuracy, and I'd get the exact same point in the middle over here to give me my circle. Now all we've done is we've worked in reverse. We've given you the circle, and we asked you to find the center of it. So you could basically either draw a triangle, obviously joining corners, or simply two lines, which gives you a chord in which you're going to be bisecting them, and simply where the intersecting points end up, will then invariably give you the center of the circle. To test this theory, I go ahead, I go to my circle tool, or in your case, you'll simply open up your compass from the point found as your center of the circle, and open up your compass all the way to the circle's edge, and actually go ahead and draw the circle and see whether it actually gives you the exact same circle as you have on the actual page. Well guys, that was it for these two. I hope this was a helpful video. Please comment on this video if you like it. You could also press like, and I really hope this has helped you. Thank you for tuning in.